And I'm here. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Curse of Strahd. This is Chapter 12, The Killing Moon. Hello everyone, welcome to Curse of Strahd. I'm your Dungeon Master Kelly, and joining me tonight are three of my four players. As you can see, Amy, who is normally playing Shasta Del Mora, is under the weather tonight, but may be interacting in chat from the comfort of her bed. With that in mind, welcome to Curse of Strahd, where we are going through the fantastic 5th edition Curse of Strahd module, and tonight are going to be facing some werewolves. With me are my players, and let's say hello to them, starting with hello, Mike.
Hello, Mike. Hello, everyone. I'm Michael, playing Zan the Plan, and I have no plan this week. I'm just going to make it up as I go along.
That's probably the best idea. All right. Hello, Neil.
Hi, I'm Neil, and I'm playing Brother Constantius Carus, who is dangerously low on spell slots.
All right. And hello, Christine.
Hi, I'm Christine, and I'm playing Illican Dawncaller Vaime Laga, the Goliath Barbarian, and I am just dangerous all the time.
And Sylvester Slays, thank you for subscribing and keeping your 10-month streak up. That's great to have you there. If you're listening to this later, thank you so much for listening when I finally get the podcast version of these episodes going.
Which, go check out Sylvester Slays. Because
yeah, do it.
Yeah, I'm fun to watch.
That's youtube.com Sylvester Slays. Like, you can just look it up really quickly. And go subscribe, because you're still at that stage where you can help reach that coveted name in the URL stage, right? Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
All right. And then finally, before we get started tonight, I also just wanted to say that there's going to be a slight update to our streaming schedule for August. And that is, we just found out that Extra Life, our favorite children's charity for video games and role-playing games, is having a special Tabletop Appreciation Day on the 22nd and 23rd. So we've dropped all of our plans and are going to be running, I'm not going to announce it quite yet, but quite a few role-playing games I'm going to be running. So I love you too, Rose. Oh, now I'm blushing. But we're going to be running a bunch of... that's a 3. No, there we go. We're going to be running a bunch of games to help kids, because this has been a rough year for everyone health-wise, and that includes children. So we're going to be trying to raise as much money as possible for them as an appetizer for our normal November marathon stream. So if you have some time, be sure to come in, give us a watch. And if you're sticking around for Werewolf the Forsaken, we're going to be running on Friday that week instead of Sunday, so that it doesn't interfere with our charity stream schedule. All right. And with that in mind, why don't we hop back into Curse of Strahd? Now, who remembers where we were last time?
We had just screwed up a bunch of werewolves by hitting them with fireballs and axes and stuff like that.
And quick question, can you guys hear the seagulls outside my window?
No.
Okay, good.
Can you hear all the little birds outside mine?
No. Okay, we're good. We're both fine. But I also wanted to just once again say hello, Rose. Good to see you in the chat. Also wonderful to see you, Sylvester Slays. And I see James in there as well. Hello, James. And all right.
And Hookfoot, too.
Oh, good. Hello. Hookfoot just hooked you. Last time on Curse of Strahd, you managed to make it to the Wizard's Tower. Opening the door through sheer luck after blowing up what you would later find out was the vampire huntress Ezmerelda's carriage.
That was sheer intelligence.
Sheer intelligence. It was obviously a trap, so best to set that off in advance, right?
No, the door.
Oh,
that was not sheer luck.
Oh, that's fair.
That was smart and knowing.
No, that was dance off, bro.
I know, and I knew to do it. Nobody else figured it out.
That's true.
I mean, nobody else had looked at it at that point, but I figured it out.
I was busy being on fire.
Yeah.
You were both on fire in your own ways.
Yes.
All right, and with that, what you did, you went and you investigated. You found a bunch of things, including Zan finally has a magic sword, which is about damn time.
Ooh.
And
Shank Strahd in the back.
I mean, you might as well. As you came out, you were confronted by a heavily wounded Ezmerelda who was on the run from Castle Ravenloft. And unfortunately, due to the extremely loud explosion that rocked the countryside from that exploding carriage, a pack of werewolves descended upon you. Unfortunately for them, they were noisy, and that gave your cleric time to prepare a fireball, which almost finished the fight. The werewolves, unable to escape, were slaughtered one by one, with the exception of one who you cured of lycanthropy and set free. In return for his life, this werewolf gave up the location of his den, as well as the fact that there were quite a few local children that had been captured and were being held there for some nefarious purpose. And with that, we're going to return to Curse of Strahd at the base of the Wizard's Tower. It's getting on into the evening at this time. The lack of sunlight permeates all around. The cloud cover is thick, and you can smell rain beginning to coalesce all around you, the stench of ozone thick. You watch the naked wolfman run away into the wilderness. Well, former wolfman, I should say. And you decide, I believe we ended game with... Yes, Ezmerelda revealing that Madame Ava couldn't possibly have given you a second Taroka card reading because she's left Barovia.
Spooky.
Yep. So why don't we go ahead and pick up right around there? Because she's left quite a while ago. I passed her on my way in.
That is concerning, but it might also be a problem for a later time. At present, it might be better to make haste towards the Werewolves Den. We were told they were out hunting this night.
Go get the kids.
There's a good chance that my mentor will return here. In the event that the sound of my exploding wagon summoned him as well. I think it would be smart to stay behind, lest the devil send forces to waylay him. He might as well have at least a couple of people willing to draw swords in his defense.
Are you advocating that you remain here while we go and save the children? Or are you advocating that we all remain here and go and save the children tomorrow?
I think that the children probably should be saved sooner rather than later before they're turned into a late-night snack for a bunch of wolfies. But I think that at least a couple of people should stay behind. That and the golems and the animated armor should be enough to give most things a run for their money. But I wouldn't ask that one person stay here alone.
This is reasonable.
How about you? And Shasta looks up. I'll stay, she says.
Dawncaller will give the armor detailed instructions. Well, not detailed, but
Very
guard. Detailed instructions.
Good. There's one person and an empty suit of armor. She looks over at Ismark. Okay. So one of us is going and one of us is staying. You three pick which one.
Oh, we should flip a coin.
Ismark, you look after Shasta.
I will with my life.
Or
Good luck with the children.
We could do that too.
All right. And
Dawncaller will just look at, what was her name? Ezmerelda?
Ezmerelda.
Wait, the name? Just kind of look at, you look like you'd be fun in a fight.
I'm much more than just fun in a fight.
I don't care.
There. Check Twitch right now. You can see what she looks like. Ezmerelda D'Avenir.
Sorry.
Yes, Brother Karis.
How far is it to the Werewolf Den? I'm just wondering whether we want to plan to meet them somewhere else, or whether we want to plan to come back here, pick them up, and then go to where we're going.
Let me just check the map.
I think Werewolf Den was just on the other side of the lake.
Yeah, I think the Werewolf Den is like an hour or two away by foot.
I mean, or we could just swim the lake. Go straight.
Not the
Mine
best.
is the god of fire, not water. And I wear too much steel to make that possible.
Dawncaller will just, well, that was foolish.
You
must harden yourself against the blades and stones. Then you would not need all that steel.
Not wrong.
If
But
we
for
go
now-
now, we can be back sooner. Just saying.
You carried the point.
I do. I carry several of them. She'll pat the axe and sword at her hips.
Just sigh, pick my stuff up, and prepare to trudge.
Do we need to take a quick break?
There is no length of break that I require, at least, that still affords us the opportunity to do what we need to do.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, best of luck then. All right. With that, do you continue around the way toward the Werewolf Den? Is anyone doing anything else before you leave?
I don't think there's anything else to do.
Can I get everyone to make me an intelligence check, please, as you are leaving this camp? Well, as you're leaving this tower, I suppose it should say.
15.
15? Okay.
17.
17? So just roll the d20 and add your intelligence modifier.
5.
5, okay. All right. As you are leaving, glancing at the ground and seeing the destroyed and still slightly smoldering remains of that carnival cart that Ezmerelda had been using to travel around, Dawncaller and Brother Karas, you will have a brief recollection that something about this seems kind of familiar. Like, you think you might have heard someone talking about this, or might have seen a cart like this back in the town of Villaki. If only briefly. Although it's a vague recollection. It's just this sense of familiarity, more than a scent of memory than a memory.
I have no idea what that means as the player. I do not recall this in the slightest, so I have no idea what you're hinting at.
You might have seen it over the top of a fence or something, but that's about it. Do not stress at all then. I think actually Zan was the only one who saw it. But I figured there was a chance that either of you might have just heard about it in passing from Zan, because he's a little bit of a chatterbox at times.
No memory.
Okay. Then you have no
And
memory
I have
of it.
no idea if that is the character or the player. Well, I know it's a player, but I don't know what the character would have known.
Okay.
So, or I don't. As a
Not
player, I
much.
don't remember what the character would have known.
Okay.
Neither do I.
All right. So if you are heading off, who is making their way through the woods? Who's taking charge of this? I would love a survival roll to try to navigate your way through the woods.
Sure.
Cool.
I have a feeling
Ezmerelda,
that is what Dawncaller is best at.
anybody who wishes to aid may go ahead. Ezmerelda will try... Oh, actually, yeah, she totally will. So you'll be rolling with advantage.
Woo! I like advantage.
Okay.
Thank you for that advantage. That is a nat 20 on survival, and
Oh,
I
really?
add 7 to it.
Okay, so you will be able to make it there with very good time. So much so, actually, that you will make it there before dark fully descends. It will just be cresting twilight as you approach and see in the distance your target. And what that is, I will read to you right now, as soon as I flip to the damn page. There is a lot of stuff in this book. You head west of Lake Baratok, and as you make your way through the woods, it's strange, actually. The woods are silent. And though the leaves crackle and twigs snap beneath your foot, no other noise, insect or bird, aside from the occasional cawing of a crow or a raven in the distance, breaks the silence. Shortly, you find yourself at the edge of the tree line, and above it, carved into the side of a rocky mountain, is a wide, torchlit cave. And as darkness is beginning to descend, the torchlit entrance casts a shadow that makes the opening of the cave look like a gaping maw of a great wolf. And I'm going to switch over to Roll20 right now. Okay. Let's just lock that in there. There we go. All right, so there we go. The mountain itself is quite tall. It slopes up at least 100 feet up, and it looks climbable if you wanted to try to get on top of this thing, but it also looks like in the dark that would probably be a bad idea for all of you folk who can't see in the dark, especially without calipers or climbing gear. Now, as you're looking at the cave mouth, you'll see that the open jaws of the wolf's head form a 15-foot high canopy of rock over the cave mouth, held up by natural pillars of rock. The ceiling rises to a height of 20 feet inside of the cave, which you can see from the outside. Torches and iron brackets line the walls. From somewhere deep inside, you hear a strange noise. The lilting of a flute. Some of the notes are discordant, and even this far away from it, your ears will begin to ache. Are you all trying to be stealthy? And if so, can I get a stealth roll?
Yes. I always have to be stealthy.
Okay. Ezmerelda, you are the best NPC this game has ever had so far. She doesn't roll less than a 15 on anything. And let's tag her page. Okay, so this is a group stealth check, which means that out of the 4 of you, 50% of you must get at least a 10.
18.
Okay, good. I'm trying to decide whether to use my inspiration or not.
Okay.
9.
9? Yep.
26.
26. Okay, so what we will do here is, let me just reveal some more areas. And can... Let's see. So, as you are standing here, Dawncaller and Brother Karas, you are going to see the outline of some humanoid figures pacing in the distance inside, just beyond the range of your ability to really make out detail. You'll just see the silhouettes inside of the cave. Dawncaller, your passive perception is 17, right?
16.
16, and Zan, it is like 12, I think?
13.
13, okay, cool.
Went up by 1.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. And your passive perception is 16, Ezmerelda. Good to know. It looks like they're holding a pair of long, roughly hewn spears and are just keeping guard atop a small rise inside of the cave.
Is there any cover on the way up to that?
So let me just, I'm going to reveal some more area inside of the cave. There we go. So it's actually fairly well lit on the inside.
And how tall is that rise?
That rise is, so looking forward, you can see that the cave splits to the left and the right. Standing on a 5-foot-high ledge are two feral-looking women in shredded clothing clutching spears.
Okay.
There we go. That should be enough for you to see now.
I guess as the player, for difficulty, what sort of like check would I expect to try and do, like a stealth up that area? Hugging the wall or something?
Hugging the
carefully?
wall? Like super high, actually.
I would bet. I'm guessing like I'd need to roll pretty much perfect.
You'd basically have to roll pretty much perfect because
Okay.
you'd be hiding in like a dimly lit room for people who probably have dark vision. If you can't go in though, there are children inside, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have very much magic left in me either, priest. So here's a question. Can any of you see in the dark?
Not me, but I can make light.
Yeah, we'll save that one. I've got a bit of shield and a bit of prestidigitation.
Can I try with performance to make a animal sound
Sure,
something?
yes you can. Yeah, I'll allow
to
it.
try and lure them out? I'm thinking something that would be actually interesting. Like, it's so silent around here, they'd probably be really weirded out. I want to come see.
Sure, what
So
are you
I'm
thinking?
thinking maybe something they'd want to, like, if it's near enough that they'd want to catch to eat. A reason to come out.
Okay. So what do you think that would be? A deer? Some type of game animal?
That's what I'm thinking. Some sort of game animal.
Okay.
Maybe, just trying to think of what sort of sounds stuff makes. I don't really think a bird,
Yeah, probably not a bird.
because that would just be weird. It's too late for that.
Just realized I kicked the
So I don't know,
mic.
maybe the snuffling sort of sound. I don't know what sort of sound a wild boar makes or whatever.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and give me a performance check?
Okay.
You could always do like an owl.
Yeah, but would
wanna-
they come out for that? Do you think?
Hmm.
They might be weirded out by the sound, but I'm thinking they might come out for, like, they all
I
seem
mean,
kind of hungry, so they
you
might come
know-
out for like a game animal.
Then do a sound that wouldn't be out at night, because then they would definitely be weirded out by that.
That's true.
Alternatively, animals do make noises in two different occasions, even though they're normally quiet. When they're trying to mate and when they're in deep, deep pain.
I
A
could
wounded-
probably mimic a rabbit death scream.
Okay, let's see if you can do that. I am going...
I think Illiken could do that. She's an outlander. She grew up in the
You
outside.
do have the Outlander background? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Then I won't give you disadvantage on this. I was about to.
I think
Okay.
Christine should actually try to pull it off, and if she
I-
does, then she gets advantage.
Well, let's
You
okay.
do not want to try and hear me deliberately screaming high pitched.
Okay.
That's 21.
21. All right, so just one moment. So... Okay. So allow me just to make an insight roll.
And Illiken, like, Dawncaller conveys this to the others quickly and hides behind one of the big rocks at the entrance, which Zan is already doing. And she'll encourage the other two to have done that as well.
So you make the sound of a dying of a dying rabbit, and
which, for those that don't know, is horrifying.
it just sounds like it sounds kind of like a child screaming.
Yeah, which if you're out in the woods in the dark, terrifying. Even if you're out in the woods at any time and it happens, it's terrifying.
All of you will hear some hushed conversation in kind of a guttural common. And one of them will take a few steps forward and sniff the air. I don't hear it anymore. It's probably already dead. You don't actually think that was a rabbit, do you? Rabbits don't sound like that. There's more of a high-pitched timbre. Besides, you'd be able to hear the sound of crunching bone by now. Come on, sister, don't be an idiot.
Yeah,
I'm hungry. Kirill's not back yet. If there's food out there, I want to eat it. If there was food out there, we'd smell the blood already.
Spear has 10-foot reach, right?
Yes.
I can get within 10 feet of that first one.
Okay.
They're sounding a little unsure.
Okay.
At least. So I'm gonna hold for a moment and see what happens. And if the closest one gets convinced to turn back, I'm gonna go run up and stabby stab.
Okay. So at that point, Ezmerelda's gonna mutter into her palm, and you are all going to start smelling this coppery, sickly scent on the wind. I smell it. The blood just needed to flow, sister. Can't you smell it? You're right. It's a big one. Maybe it has young. Oh, I look forward to supping those sweet, soft bones. And they are going to take a few more steps toward the door, looking around. And what I'd like everybody to do is make me a stealth roll to see how well they hid. Okay.
22.
22?
24.
24?
Not that bad. 14.
14?
Nice.
Yeah.
I smell a man. Maybe a hunter. And at that point, they are within about 15 feet of you. What would you like to do?
Dawncollar's just going to charge him.
Okay. So you are going to get one free attack each in a surprise round. So let's go ahead and just do it. Dawncaller, you're calling first. So what do? You rush forward?
I'm going to get right in between them. And I've got extra attack, so I'm going to hit them both.
Okay. Sounds good.
With the spear.
Sounds great. You're going to just attack one of them? Or both? You said both of them, right? Okay.
I'm going to hit both.
All right. So go ahead.
Okay. So
you
I
won't
just
have
need
it...
to add up what I'm adding. I'm not in rage yet.
Okay.
So it's 21 and 23 to hit.
20. Those are both hits.
Okay.
Go stealth mode.
Uh, 28 on damage on one of them.
Okay.
$25 on the other.
Okay, so just 1 second. Okay. Thanks for doing two very easy numbers. It's almost like one of their hitboxes ends in an 8. All right, so rushing forward out of the darkness without a sound, you're going to plunge your spear twice into their bodies. With that, who's going next? You basically have 1 round before they're going to make a noise.
Zan, do you want to go?
Sure. I'm going to close the distance and do a sneak attack on the first one.
Sounds fantastic. Go ahead. Sneak attack on blue. Okay. Ezmerelda's going to do the same thing from that angle when her time is up. All right. So go ahead and give me an attack roll. So you can make 1 attack with your main and 1 attack with your offhand.
Yep. So offhand is 8 and main hand is 16.
Okay. Those are 2 hits.
They both hit?
Yeah, 16 was the low one, right?
No, 8 was the low.
Oh, 8 was the low one. Sorry. I thought you said 18.
No.
So the 16 will hit, the other one will not.
Okay.
So apply your sneak attack to that one.
9 points.
9 points? All right. And that's with your sneak attack dice?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait, plus I forgot to add the modifier.
Yep. So add the modifier and add the +1 for it being a magical weapon.
Yep.
So it's probably your dexterity you're using, which is a +3, I believe.
With Van Richten is +5, so 14.
Okay. So 14. That's way better. All right. So rushing up, you're going to plunge your rapier into this one's back. Ezmerelda is going to take the chance to rush forward and do a bit of the same to the other one, and is going to hit with her silver short sword and her rapier, dealing a total of 17 points of damage, because that was a good hit, but not enough to knock it completely down. Oh wait, no, she makes 3 attacks. Oh god, I only had her down for 2.
Holy shit.
And that one is a 9, which turns into a 16, which is enough that is another 7 points of damage. Cool. So rushing forward, she's going to stab the red werewolf 3 times, making it an even redder werewolf. And Brother Karas, your turn.
Neither of them is down.
Neither of them is down, although they are both very hurt. The first one is very injured. The other one is close to as injured. They are both more than half dead.
Okay. I will step out from behind the rocks, just so I have line of effect to the blue one, and it can make a dexterity saving throw, DC 16, as I call down Sacred Fire upon it.
It fails.
15 points of radiant damage.
15 points of radiant damage on the blue one?
Yeah.
Okay, so 15 points of radiant damage. Holy fire ignites along its body. It is still technically on its feet, which means I need an initiative roll. It is burned almost all the way down to its bones. Okay, so Ezmerelda has a 21.
18.
Okay.
10.
10, okay.
8.
Okay. So Ezmerelda is just going to grab, she's going to turn this one's throat inside out as quickly as she can. And that is 3 misses. Wow.
Ouch.
That was 2, 3, 5. Oh, wait. Hold on. No, actually, that's one of those is a hit. Because these things have very, very low AC. Which is enough, actually. Sorry, the 5 means that was actually a hit. Alright, she is going to slash the throat out of the red one, dropping it to the ground before it can utter a sound. Dawncaller, you are our only hope.
Okay, I'm gonna stabby stab this one next to me. That's going to be a 27.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll me damage and tell me how it goes. There is physically no way it
I
can
do 2 attacks.
Okay.
So. Okay.
Let's see how much overkill you do.
26.
26 damage? Okay, cool. So on this type of case, what does negative 24 look like? Oh, pardon me, negative 22. What does that look like to you? You just punch all the way through its spine and throat?
Well, what if we added... $25 more points of damage as well for the 2 attacks.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Can I just, like, sushi her up?
I was thinking that this one opens its mouth to scream. You hit her directly in the gut with the butt of your spear to take the wind out of her, and then stick the spear in and do one of those nice little Witcher twists. Remember the one that removed the top of the guy's head in the first episode?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
That sounds good. Roll 2d6 and take those as temporary hit points.
Sweet.
All right, and with that, both of the werewolves fall to the ground, dead. Still, their bodies still twitching and writhing. That was easy.
I'm going to drag them off to one side. Kind of around outside of the sight of the mouth of the cave, and then... sneaky sneak.
All right, and with that, you begin to sneak your way into the den.
That was clever, Neil.
Thank you.
What's your charisma score there, Brother Karis?
12 plus 1.
Not a bad plan. Let's see if you have any more smart ideas. Priest boy?
Wait, what?
Eh? That was Don Collish's plan. All right, let's keep going. I follow Don Collish's lead.
You confuse the NPC with meta gaming. It's her Vistani evil eye ability, basically. She's just seeing through the fourth wall. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
well, what I was commenting to Neil was he made a comment in the chat privately, calling Don Collar the Butcher of Barovia. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was commenting on because it just happened. I was like, nice.
All right. So you are not actually there. All right. So I would like all of you to make me a stealth roll.
Is this a group check? I just want to know before I decide about inspiration.
It is a group check.
Okay.
But it will matter, so.
21.
20, but not natural.
Okay.
11.
Sure. 11 and 17 for Ezmerelda. Okay, so that means that more than half of you succeeded. I just have to check real quick what a wolf's passive perception is. Really? How is it? That doesn't make any sense, but alright, we'll go with that. Guess what a wolf's passive perception is?
11.
It's like 13, but still, like, ridiculous, right? Alright. So, moving into the cave a bit. Oh, and killing this werewolf. Boop. Right, moving into the cave a bit, you find that your shadows are long and thin against the walls. As you move inside, you'll see that the cave splits to the left and the right. That 5-foot rise had guards on it just a moment ago that you cleared out. Brother Karas, you can definitely tell that the flute is coming from the left passage. You can smell that, all of you actually can smell that this cave system stinks of hide and wet dog and blood. What do you do?
Can I see up this kind of right-hand corridor a bit?
Sure, up the right corridor. So looking up the right-hand corridor, Just one moment, and I will reveal it.
I'm also thinking I'm crouching because that dais thing is about 5 foot, so I'm crouching to be below that, so anybody up the left won't see me, hopefully.
Sounds good. All right, so you are... I will put the werewolves away for a second. You can hear water in the distance. A gash in the rocky ceiling allows gray light from the moon to pour in, and a cold drizzle of the rain that was beginning to coalesce as you entered the cave to seep into this dank, torchlit area, where an underground spring forms a pool of water roughly 40 feet across and 10 feet deep. A 5-foot-high ledge to the north overlooks the pool. A similar ledge spans the eastern wall, with a rough-hewn staircase leading up to it. A few crates sit atop the eastern ledge.
Okay, so it doesn't appear to be, the kids aren't in here, it doesn't appear to be any offshoots, anything.
It does not appear so, no.
Okay.
It does look like there's a passage through to the north, west. A 5-foot ledge.
Oh, the one next to the pool?
Basically, yes, the one that's right here.
Okay.
So you can probably go further into the cave system there.
Okay, so I could hoist myself up that and bypass this first area.
Yeah, you could. Or you could risk sneaking around the other direction.
Okay, and if I go in a little further, I can kind of glance over here and look up the left side.
Yep, and as you do, you will be able to scout out that there is a 5-foot-high stone ledge that overlooks this cave. The ledge, of course, being up here at the north of the room. Mm. Strangely, the floor is covered with gnawed bones, and you will see 9 wolves and a human man, an old, wizened one with a deep, silvered beard, playing a flute, a bright, silvery-colored one. These wolves are crowded around him, cuddled up against him, like faithful dogs. He seems to be playing for their amusement, kind of idly.
Hmm. And they do look like just wolves, not werewolves?
You know, it's impossible to tell. In this form, They are definitely wolves.
Okay.
He looks like a normal human right now. They could theoretically all be werewolves, though.
Okay.
As far as you know.
But they don't look like children ones.
They do not look like children.
Okay. I am going to see if I can go swim that pool and climb that ledge and check over there without notifying them.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of hand signal to the others.
Okay. What's everyone else doing? Is anyone going with her?
What? Can you tell us exactly what you're trying to convey with your hand signals? Because that will really...
Pretty much. Like, I think we probably would have worked out some. I think Don Collar would have insisted on it.
Well, give me an example of what it would be. Like,
basically some rough idea of potential enemies, potential route, sort of thing.
Okay, that's
right? Like, I don't know what signs you would have used because they're generally ambiguous. Like, they don't actually directly mean anything.
If that's what you're trying to translate, I think that's pretty reasonable, because then you can kind of just do this kind of face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
It was that last...
Yeah, very rough, like, simple hand signals.
Are you telling them to wait?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
I mean, I don't think Don Color particularly thinks that Zan will listen if he doesn't want to. So,
if you
Zan, what are you doing?
Us to wait.
This might be more for Brother Karis's benefit of because he's in armor and can't really stealth.
Yeah. I'm gonna move up to where the passageway split off and kind of hide around that corner. Keep an eye on the original group.
Okay. Ezmerelda is going to creep as well. Now, because you're moving through all of these spaces, I want you all to give me another stealth roll.
Okay.
Including Dawn Caller. However, Dawncaller, you make it straight. Zan, you do it with advantage because you're just kind of using cover and high. Well, so everybody can make it with advantage.
I was going to say, if I stay where I am and don't go clanking around...
You do not have to make the roll.
22.
Good. That's
22?
25.
Advantage gave me an extra 2.
Cool.
Or extra
All right,
4,
so everybody here has a 25 and up. That's fantastic. Okay, so moving over to the water, you will find that it smells fresh.
Nice. I will doggy paddle through as quietly as I can.
Okay, so we'll play your other roll forward. And
The noisiest part will be getting back out.
I believe so. You'll have probably disadvantage to get out of the water quietly. Looking around, you will have difficulty with your line of sight here, but what you will be able to see is up to the north. It looks like there are quite a few passages that branch off from here. You see a large white wolf sleeping in an alcove to the left. Up above it, slightly diagonally to the north, you will see... You see what looks like, actually, a large wolf sleeping with a smaller wolf. Looks like a pup of some kind. And then it looks like some more passages to the north.
I will gently doggy paddle back and communicate this to the others.
Okay. All right, so what's the plan?
We can try and get up that ledge and sneak past and see if we can find the children first. My thought is that potentially if we start attacking here, one of them can rouse and run off and threaten the children. Or the children aren't even here at all, and then this is a waste of trip.
No, they wouldn't go anywhere. They're here for sure.
Or they're already werewolves, who knows?
Let's be optimistic.
Barovia? Okay.
You might have a point. What is your priest doing?
What do you mean?
He's... Ezmerelda will wave at you from across the hall.
He wears the clanky stuff.
Shh, come over here. All right, so go ahead and roll, Brother Cars. If you keep low and use the environment, you can roll with advantage. Actually, you know what? Does your armor impose disadvantage?
It does. That's
okay. So just roll straight.
Yeah. 18.
18.
Nice.
All right. So you will
take
a
your
couple,
time,
and you'll hear, but you'll make it across. We're going swimming.
Oh, wonderful. How deep is the water?
Fine.
Not too deep. About 10 feet. Don't worry, it's enough that if you sink, we'll just stand on your head. It'll be much easier for us.
Well, it is heartening to know that I will continue to be of assistance. I start quietly clinking off towards the water and cliffs.
All right, so making it to the water. This is going to be a bit of a pain to do, but I think you can all do it together. To swim across a 10-foot deep, like basically a swimming pool. I'm not going to make you make an athletics roll because that's a little silly. What I am going to make you do is make me a stealth roll, a group stealth roll, though, at disadvantage to get out of here stealthily.
Oh, a
I think
disadvantage.
before I get in the water, I'm going to go up and see what's in those crates up top.
Sounds good. They're actually able to be opened without using any tools. And looking through, it appears that they're crates of adult-sized clothing.
Hmm.
Not quite what you expected, but I guess werewolves have to wear clothing sometime.
Would it be possible to pick up any of these boxes?
The boxes? Yeah. What's your strength score? It's 12?
It's 14.
14? Yeah, you can pick one up.
Okay, because I'm thinking on putting these in a big stack and setting them on fire as a diversion.
Okay. Where are you going to put them?
Pretty much start stacking them where I am, like right in that front corner there.
Okay. Let me just pull up. Sounds good. Do you have any oil on you?
I do. I have like 3 flasks of it.
You just need one.
Yeah, that's good
So
enough to start it.
mark yourself down there, and I'll get a little bit of fire started for you.
I love
Okay.
this. We are Planny McPlanny face tonight.
Okay, and so Zan, you know from experience that you've got probably about 30 seconds before they're going to notice this.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
love the idea that we're all in the water. We get up to the other side and we all look around and do a head count, and Zan's just not there. And then there's a fire.
Oh no.
Bonfires are gonna look.
I'm obviously going to wait until everyone else is across and then start it.
All right, so everybody go ahead and make me that roll.
18.
Okay. 9.
Can I also
4.
roll an insight to just recognize that the fire is obviously a distraction, diversion?
You're going to see him lighting it, so yeah. Okay.
I am smart enough to figure that one out.
So you guys are going to make it to the other edge of the pool, and are going to fail your stealth roll. Give me just one moment, though. Sleeps here. Sleeps here. Okay. All right. So, Zan, as you are setting this fire, you are going to hear a bit of a slosh as Ezmerelda and Brother Karis get out of the water. And as you hear that, the flute will stop playing.
Oh,
Mate, what do you hear? What's out there? Asiana, Davnica. Where are those girls? The man at the back will begin moving forward. His mass of wolves moving with him. You guys can give me a stealth roll, just a straight one up again, just to hide at this point. Cool. Done.
23.
Group or solo?
It's group.
14.
14? Okay. All right.
22.
And 22. So, Zan, you can easily make your way across.
Yep.
Cool. So you'll pull yourself out of the water. And are you going to continue onward? So you see the wolves begin to trail, following their master dutifully around the corner. You know they're going to make eye contact with the fire soon.
Here.
Now that
Okay.
there's a fire, we might want to move quickly.
Okay.
I'm following dog collar. Sorry, I didn't realize. Yeah.
Okay. And
I think that's out of the line of sight of just about everything in there right now.
okay.
That's
So
roughly where I'd head for.
Just one moment while I continue revealing areas. The reveal button doesn't always work great on this. Okay, and pardon me, I had spare werewolves in case you guys came at a different time.
Spare wolves.
Spare wolves!
Spare wolves.
Like spare ribs.
Werewolf, spare wolf.
Alright, moving along, you are going to find yourself looking down into a rough-hewn stairwell that leads down to a Torchlight Cave and a bizarre sight. Wide-eyed children stand behind wooden bars and stare at you in terrified silence. The cave holds 6 wooden cages, their lids held shut with heavy rocks. 2 of the cages are empty. Each other cage... Oh, damn, I messed that up. Hey, you, get in this cage. There we go. That was easy. The children all look like they're related because I only found one photo. There we go. Close that. 2 of the cages are empty, and each of the others holds a pair of frightened children. A crude wooden statue stands between the cages. It bears the rough likeness of a wolf-headed woman draped in garlands of vines and night flowers. Piled around the statue's base is an incredible amount of treasure. A woman in shredded clothes kneels before the statue. Behind the statue, 2 maggot-ridden corpses hang from iron shackles bolted into the wall, which you can actually see on the image. Here and here. Okay, so you guys only have a few seconds to act. What do you do?
I think I can make it to her.
Okay. Are you trying to stealth up to her?
No.
Okay. So
we don't have time, so I'm just gonna go and stabby stab. Try and surprise.
Let me just make a roll to see if she notices your approach. Okay. All right. I want you to make me an initiative roll.
And right before the violence pops off, I do want to look at the children and go.
Okay. Actually, go ahead and before this happens, then, if you're doing that, I want you to make me a shush roll, which is going to be basically a persuasion roll.
Sounds good.
You're going to do it with disadvantage, but because they're freaked out.
Okay. Well, with disadvantage, I get a 17.
Perfect. All right. So let me re-roll this with disadvantage. Okay. So everybody roll initiative.
21.
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay, so Ezmerelda has a 16.
22.
I have a 16.
You have a total of 2? What'd you say, Mike?
22.
Oh, 22. Okay. So 16 was Ezmerelda. What did you have, Neil?
Also a 16.
Okay, you'll go first, though, because you're the PC. And then, what'd you have, Dawncaller?
21.
21, and then Zan is going to go first. Dawncaller, and then Wolf. 1, 2, red, blue, green, pink, purple, X, orange. What other colors are there? Yellow. Okay. Okay. All right. So, Dawncaller, you were starting things off moving across the floor. Zan, you can see her in motion. Are you going to act in the starter round, or are you just going to let her do it?
I'm planning on headed towards the nearest cage to try to start opening it.
Okay, sounds good. So, we will start down the initiative roster as normal. So Zan, you can go ahead and move to the front cage. It doesn't appear to be locked, just plied shut by heavy rocks.
Okay.
So you can start opening them immediately. All right, sounds good. Dawncaller, rushing forward, what do you do?
Attacky tack.
Okay, you will be able to roll with advantage because the children actually shut up.
Damn. Okay, is that advantage on both attacks?
It is advantage on the first one.
Okay.
So she'll be able to try to dodge after the first one hits her.
Okay. Well, that was nice advantage, because that was a 1 and a 19.
Oh, yup. That is absolutely going to be a hit.
Especially since it would actually be a 29. And the second one is a 26.
26? Okay.
I love adding 10. This is great.
Those are 2 hits for sure.
Okay. 1 sec.
Okay, let's get some fight music going here.
Okay, first attack 27.
All right, that was 27 damage.
For the first attack.
Shit. Okay.
And 27 on the second.
Holy crap.
Some of which is radiant and the rest is from the spear.
Okay. So rushing forward, you're going to be able to slam your spear into her back twice before she can react. You are going to decimate her with those blows, and she is near death on the first attack. Fantastic work there, brother.
That is not raging.
That is not raging. Brother Karas, what do you do?
Just for total clarity, there's been a fair amount of noise at this point, yes?
That was fairly quick, actually. However, you will start to hear the sound of wolves whining right as your turn's beginning.
Okay. I'm just thinking, because for all of my spells, I need to speak in a clear voice to cast spells.
You might as well at this point.
All right. How does movement actually work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And we're not dealing with diagonals, so diagonals are 1.
Okay.
Just because I like my life to be easy.
In that case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Ah. I'll get to here, so I have line of effect on her. She can roll a dex save DC 16 as holy fire is called down upon her from the roof of the cave. Yeah?
She does succeed.
She's good then. She dodges holy fire.
She dodges holy fire. All right, so she is going to dodge to the left, basically, near death. And let's see real quick. Does she fight to the death? Oh, I'm pretty sure. One moment, please. So, you are coming in with magical weapons. She is kind of hooped. Okay, you obviously have that good. Ezmerelda is going to break away from the group. And is going to do... She does not have that one anymore, unfortunately. That's a hit, though. All right. So you are going to hear the sound of a wolf wailing in the distance. And the sound of what can only be described as a bolt of fire flying out of someone's hand. Come get me, you stupid bitch! All right. The wolves are going to hear you all and are going to start to make their way up. They have a movement speed of 40. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess, yeah, right about here. Okay, and they're all still connected. Okay, so they're going to move up on their turn, howling and snarling. She is going to rush forward and take a bite of Ezmerelda. and is going to fight +4, 15. Armor class is... Sorry that there are so many NPCs in this scene. She's going to rush forward, take a snap at Ezmerelda, and miss the first attack, and miss the second attack. Fantastic. Werewolf. Okay. Big wolf, small wolf. Big wolf and small wolf are going to enter the fray as well, and are going to rush down here. Okay, and with that, that is all that can be done this round. We are back at the top of the initiative with Zan. Zan, what do you do?
Try to get the kids in the first cage to follow me, and then we're going to head to the next cage and get to work on opening that one.
Okay. Sounds good. They will follow you without a roll at this point. Are you going to tell them to open the other cages?
Yeah.
Okay. They will do so. Working together, they'll be able to do it, but they're pretty weak on their own.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So you will release both of these cages by the end of this turn.
Perfect.
Dawncaller.
Is she still up?
She is... Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped her turn. She is going to spend a disengage action and is going to... Actually, you know what? She's going to shift up into her werewolf form and is going to hold her action. Give me one moment. Okay. Okay. Tell you what. She is going to let me rephrase what happens. She's going to hold her action, but she's going to use a social action, which is going to be to just hold her hands up through all of the blood that is covering her. Mercy. I'm his enemy too. She's not particularly believable, but you don't have any reason to think she's telling the truth or lying, I guess. Her persuasion roll was balls. Really balls. So, you're up.
I guess insight?
Sure. What's your passive insight?
I mean...
So your insight with a plus 10 is what?
13.
13. It doesn't appear that she's lying, but she also is she's a werewolf. You don't know if you would just trust her on principle or if you like, she's not being deceitful as far as you can feel. Neil, you have a question?
Would you describe her as very dark and young?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, if you zoom in on her photo, you'll see that she looks very rather dark-skinned and very like she's in her late teens, early 20s, almost like she kind of looks like that.
Ah, so you might call her, I probably wrote this down wrong, but Zulika or Zulika?
Zulika does sound like it could be her name. I don't know why you would assume that, but she is definitely the tannest one here, especially compared to that white wolf over here. But yeah, no, she is probably the one that was described by the werewolf.
What was his name again?
The werewolf did he give his name?
He was Hans the werewolf in my notes.
Yeah, Hans the werewolf.
Yeah.
And you killed Kirill. Kirill Stojanovic. Or Stoyanovich.
Okay, had he mentioned her? Did it seem like?
Yes, he did.
Sorry, after vacation, I just can't remember.
That's fine. Basically, he said that if anybody was going to lead the pack, it should be her.
Ah.
Because she was the most, like, she would cause the least trouble for humans. However, you can choose to discuss this later. Remember that you can always deal non-lethal damage if you choose.
Okay, I will just, I'll do that. I'll knock her out with the butt of my spear.
Sounds good. Go ahead and make me an attack.
22 and 27.
Okay, so she had a held action. Can you make me a con save?
17.
17? Okay. So as you lash out, she's going to rush forward and bite you on the thigh. It's going to deal... it's going to deal 6 points of your temporary hit points are going to vanish. Or wait, pardon me, 3 points because you're in... Or you're not in rage yet. Yeah.
No.
And then you'll be able to deliver the blow to the back of her head. And she's going to go out like a sack of potatoes from that first damage roll. All right, so with that, Brother Karas, you can hear a huge kerfuffle behind you.
Sounds good. Dawncaller, did you want to move towards the kerfuffle after your attack action, or did you want to end your turn after you knocked her out?
You know what? Since she's knocked out and pretty damn hurt, I'm gonna move back towards Brother Karas. And see what the kerfuffle's about.
There we go, shrink the kerfuffle. So
I mean, I've got a good guess, but Zan seems to have the children well in hand.
All right, Brother Karas, what you doing?
All right, counting squares.
1 square.
1, 2, moving diagonally. 3, 4.
Remember that we're not doing the diagonal thing.
Oh yeah, no. I'm using the arrow keys to move the guy. I was just explaining why I was going boop boop to count one diagonal.
You know that there's like a measuring tool, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But I already have my guy selected. Can I actually see anything from here?
Yes, absolutely. It's very well lit, and where you are, you can see there is a pack of wolves headed directly in your direction.
All right, I'm going to... Would it be an action to bring them towards me?
The wolves?
Yeah. Rather than towards Ezmerelda.
If they see you, they're going to come at you, and you are more visible than Ezmerelda at this point.
All right, Rad.
You could try to make an intimidation roll to make them come at you.
I'll go there, and then I will fight defensively.
Okay. All right. And fighting defensively, you know what? It's never actually come up. It gives me disadvantage, right?
I'm actually looking it up because it comes up so rarely.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. All right, so Ezmerelda is going to use this turn very arrogantly to take her 3 swipes and then move away. That is 1, 2, 3 hits. Okay, so the White Wolf is going to take not as good of damage as she could have. That is going to be 7, 14... Oh, sorry, 18, 25 points of damage. And is going to get a free attack, which actually is going to hit Ezmerelda. Okay, and Ezmerelda, DC 12, cool. Is going to get bit as she moves out of range. She lurches around the corner, coming up next to you, Brother Karas. Where she keeps her sword behind her and spins around, blood dribbling down the side of her thigh. I figure you might need a bit of a distraction.
Always appreciate.
All right.
So fight defensively doesn't exist anymore. It is the dodge action, which does do disadvantage on attack rolls and advantage on dex saves. So,
oh, that's really cool. So what we're going to do is 1, 2... Not in range. Okay. You are a werewolf now, but I'm just going to use your normal figure. So they're going to just rush there. Okay, they're going to rush there. And she is going to surge as well. All right, so with that, that means that Brother Karas, you are going to have 2 bites aimed at you. Is your armor class 15 or less?
No, it is 18.
All right, so the wolf in the front lashes out at you, as does the one next to it. Both are going to miss, which I think that guy could probably make it to there. So that means that Ezmerelda will have 2 attacks on her as well. At normal. 1 is a botch and 1 is a hit. Okay, so she's going to take 3 more points of damage. That's not terrible, to be honest. However, both of them are going to snap. And... okay, she has just enough strength not to be pulled prone. That was lucky. She succeeded by 1. Okay, so she has 82 hit points. Now she's down to about 60. Okay, and that is the end of this turn. Back at the top of the initiative with Zan. Zan, are you continuing to release people?
Yep.
Okay, so with these children all being let out, you will be able to get them released this turn.
Perfect.
All right, congratulations. And I'm just going to make sure that this is pretty obvious. So she is knocked out.
Okay.
Okay, so the kids are all free. Back down here, Dawncaller, what do you do?
I am gonna run up here.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Sorry, I didn't show my tool off.
That's fine.
Run there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to roar in my best Goliath roar.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to enragedly attack them. And just try and make as big a spectacle of myself as I can. So that maybe Zan can sneak around them, around the rocks, and get the children out towards the front.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, so I'm just going to attack the guy right in front of me.
Okay.
With a 25, around a 22.
Okay, those are definitely 2 hits. Are you splitting the attack or focusing on one?
I'm gonna focus on the one and see how I do first.
You know you can apply your attacks one at a time and see if it drops them before you can.
Sure, I'll do that.
Yeah.
So that is. It's 29 damage.
29. All right, the first one is going to plunge directly into the beast's neck, and it's going to fall dead to the ground. The orange one is dead.
Okay.
You can reach the green one or the yellow one with your second attack.
I'll go for yellow.
Okay. Brother Karis, you are going to be up as soon as she rolls damage.
31.
31 punches right through its ears, and a bit of wolf brain punches out of the side of its, the opposite side of its skull, and it will drop to the ground dead as well. As this happens, the feral man that was playing the flute for them is going to howl in rage and misery, and is going to press his assault forward. Brother Karis, it's your turn first, though.
Excellent. Well, as the wolves in front of me have just been turned into wolf kebab,
yeah.
I will call down Sacred Flame. Actually, you know what? No, I won't do that. I will cast Burning Hands.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
So if you step one space forward, you can attack, I think, everybody.
Sorry, I have like 3 books open because I decided to take silly spells from other books.
Because, like, I think from this location, you can get, it's a 15-foot cone, right?
Yeah.
2, 3. Yeah, like, this looks like a 15-foot cone to me.
Sweet. I didn't see you ping, but move me to the square that you pinged on if you
just
set
like
up
one space ahead of you.
Sure.
Because then if you draw a triangle out, right?
Yeah.
Like, that hits literally everybody. So what is my dex save on this?
DC 16.
Okay. So, let me just look up what wolves get as a save.
I think it's just that one guy way in the back that doesn't.
No, I think he's still within...
Yeah,
because we're using the modified rules. I think because we're not using diagonals being weird.
Oh, okay.
I think
I was
he's
just
still...
using the measuring thing from Neil's point.
So he's not? Okay. So
yeah,
that
he
means
seemed like he was just Oh, maybe he is inside of it. It's just hard
I'll
with
give
the
him
little
advantage
white
on
box.
it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 7 normal wolves. And I need a what?
16.
Okay. 1 success.
All right.
1 success from the wolves first. So how much damage do the wolves take?
12 on a fail, 6 on a pass.
Okay, so okay.
Oh yeah, never mind. He is inside of it.
Oop, I accidentally deleted you. There we go. Okay, and then just let me roll for the other. Oh, I rolled 1 too few for wolves. Okay, that's a fail, and then holy crap. Okay, okay, so this wolf has.
We have a pile of dead, burning wolves in front of us now.
So with a shriek, all but one of the wolves are going to ignite and fall to the ground as crisped, charred canine corpses. That wolf is going to be down another 12. That you are out. Werewolf 1 is going to be down 12 because he failed, and those are the only combatants left in this arena. Good job there, my friend. Ezmerelda is not one to not press an advantage and is going to rush forward at the white wolf and is going to get 2 successful swings in, which are going to deal a total of 16 points of damage, which, as she slashes and slices in to this giant wolf here, it is near death. The next blow will probably kill her. Ah, damn, too bad I missed that last swing. Now we are at the werewolves' turns. I believe everyone's acted, right? Okay. Okay, so down the initiative, the white wolf is going to attack Ezmerelda. She's going to fail. The wolf directly in front of you, Brother Karas, is going to attack with all of its might and is going to fail. And then this one is going to shift into werewolf form, surge forward.
I am going to warding flare that werewolf, so he can
Alright,
attack me with
so disadvantage? Okay. Now is that disadvantage on all attacks or the first attack?
I think, let's call it only the first attack. I want to double check the wording, but that sounds right to me.
Okay, so your armor class is
18.
What? Okay, so that's definitely going to be a miss. And the second one, okay, that's going to be 2 misses.
Awesome.
God, these guys cannot fight worth a damn. Okay. Noted about magic weapons. All right, back at the top of the initiative, Zan.
I'm going to filter all the kids south with me.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Okay, so the kids are all going to... Can I group these guys? Advanced. Oh, I can. Oh, actually, I want to try something real quick. Okay, move your figure.
I did.
No, move him forward one more space.
Hold on more.
I just want to see if it works. Do you still control him?
Yep.
Ah, damn, it doesn't work unless I set them all to you. I have you guys grouped, but only I can control the group.
Okay.
So, damn. Okay, well, I can still group them with each other, though. So, yes, you can start funneling them downward. Next in the initiative, we have Dawncaller.
I'm gonna move forward and engage those that are left.
Okay. There is a werewolf who is shifted into hybrid form directly in front of you.
Okay, that's an 18 and a 16 to hit.
Those are 2 hits. Go ahead and roll me damage.
$24 on the first hit.
All right. The first hit is going to kill. the old werewolf, this giant hybrid form that looms over you, is gray around the muzzle, very, very sinewy and brawny. But very, not brawny, I mean haggard is what I actually mean. As you jam your spear into him, reset your temp hit points to 6, and he is going to collapse against you before you move on with your round. And as he starts to shift back into his human form, the old man cackles. When Kiro returns, he'll skin you alive.
Before he dies, I killed Kiro.
All right, and you may take your second attack. So that is going to kill him. So you can easily
24 damage
attack...
on the next one.
Sorry?
24 damage.
Jesus. Okay.
Well, you said my both attacks were a hit. It was 18 and 16.
Yeah, you're going to hit a wolf. They have AC 11. You would have to botch not to hit them at this level.
So.
All right, so fantastic. As you push his corpse to the side, a quick jut of your spear will pierce the wolf's brain in front of you, and the one werewolf remaining is this hulking white hybrid facing Ezmerelda. And Brother Karas, it's your turn.
Oh, I like where I'm standing. I will call down Sacred Fire upon it. Dex save DC 16.
All right, that's a success.
All right, no damage on a success.
Okay. Ezmerelda is just going, as it dodges out of the way, Ezmerelda's going to take the advantage and just stab her blade into it 3 times. And with that, the cave goes quiet, aside from the sound of crying children behind you and burning clothes, filling the air with the stink of dried blood and burning crisped lice.
With respect to the speed at which we should probably move, I think that one back there was Zulika, and it might be worthwhile to go and grab her so that we can discuss terms. She is going to be the leader of the werewolves.
What
She
werewolves?
might be a leader, none.
Hans said they were out hunting mostly.
Well, go shake her awake and let's just do the terms and go.
Okay. Moving back into the room, Zan, what are you doing? You've got all the kids huddled around.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll just keep them nearby in a group. I'm sure some of them are concerned or crying or whatever. The sound of fighting nearby.
Mm-hmm. All right, your friends are going to round the corner, and they're covered in blood and a bit of smoke. Looking around the room here, as you reapproach the children, you will see that this altar is completely covered in treasure. Quite a bit of it. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of coins that they've probably stolen off of people and their corpses. What do you do?
I will go stride over to her and smack, wake up.
Who are you? Who are you?
Adventurers.
You're the one that I heard about.
Huh?
Carol was talking about you.
Never met him, so how would he?
The devil talked about you. You're the 4 adventurers from beyond the mist.
Ah, yes.
You have the devil's attention.
I was aware.
And you have mine too, I suppose.
Great. We're taking the kids.
And we're taking your money, and I'll tell the kids to go over and start filling their pockets so they can take it home to their parents and get some food and clothing for all of them.
You're a big man, shouldn't you take it for them?
No, they've got pockets, and as much as they can carry.
All right. Are you're gonna tell them to do this?
Yeah.
Dawncollar's just like, oh, it's cursed.
The oldest girl there is going to say, Sir, that's Mother Night. I don't want to steal from Mother Night.
Okay.
Perhaps the child has a point. It is generally not good to steal from temples. Now, you, and I point at Zulika, I go, you may notice that you find yourself in the unique position of having met my associate here and continuing to inhale the beautiful air around you. Now, you may thank a gentleman by the name of Hans for that. He has instructed us that werewolves will continue to be a feature of this region, but that you, in your infinite kindness and wisdom, can lead them towards a path that is less at odds with us and other non-werewolves' continued survival. And we would like to put to you the equitable proposition that you agree to this path and swear a binding oath to that effect. Or
we'll just grin in her face, baring teeth.
or that.
I'm probably tall enough that she's on her tiptoes and I'm holding her up.
You killed Kirill?
I'm not sure. Did I? I'll turn to the others.
Yes, she killed Kirill.
I didn't ask any names before I hit people.
If you do something for me, the devil, he has my mate, Emil. He has him in the dungeons. You're going there anyway. Set him free.
Okay, as long as he doesn't try and hit me first.
That is a wonderful point. Do you have a token or something that we can show Emil? Because based on past experience, it tends to be claws first and talking later.
She'll rip some of the rags off of her shirt and start to sponge it around in her spear wound and hand you the bloodied rag.
That works.
Thank you.
Tell him, maybe open with the fact you killed Kirill.
Oh, good thing.
This is wise.
He was jailed for trying to usurp his seat.
Pleasure to be of service. I will pop the bloody bit of rag in a belt pouch.
I'll be leaving now. And hopefully you will soon too.
Well, I mean, you can stay here if you want. I'll leave. I mean, it's your cave.
She will collapse to the ground if you allow it.
I will put her down gently.
Alright, she will slump to the side, having been stabbed for the majority of her blood.
I will leave some food next to her. And move on.
Alright. Is anybody doing anything or taking anything from the shrine? There's so much gold around it.
I do want to look at the children and go, now children, I need you to be brave. I notice there are 2 empty cages. Are they empty by purpose, or have they just not yet been filled?
They haven't taken anyone else recently.
Okay.
All right.
Well, the cave is kind of on fire, so who wants to be carried? I
A couple
believe
of
I
them,
can probably
the younger
manage at
ones,
least
will
two
raise
of
their
you.
hands.
I will sling one on my back and put one under either arm. And could probably manage two on my back, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to cling to my furs.
All right. So 2 of them can be carried that way. What about the rest of you?
All right, children. Follow Dawncaller. And then, or follow her. Her name is Dawncaller. She's very nice, I promise. And then I'll like hall monitor style child field trip and go to the back and try and make sure everyone else stays in a group.
Well,
Okay.
I have the 2 on my back, and I think I have 2 under my arms. I'm just going to start jogging out of the cave, because I know part of it's on fire, so...
All right. There's quite a bit of smoke at the front of the cave. Is anybody else doing anything inside of the cave before you go?
I'm going to fish out a gold piece and throw it on top of the rest of the pile and make some comment about keep the tip.
Make me a persuasion roll.
It's not great. Persuasion. 10.
Okay. Put a little asterisk at the top left corner of your character sheet, or just make a note for later for me.
Okay.
Not all blessings are kind.
What a horrible night for a curse.
Yeah.
As you leave the cave.
I left gold. I didn't take it.
True. But you had more gold. No. All right. As you leave the cave, there will be a sudden flurry of motion in the trees above, and you will see a raven fly down to the ground in front of you. Before it hits the ground, there will be a shifting of feathers into flesh, and a man will stand up from where the raven was a moment ago.
Do we
Halen.
recognize him?
Let me find out.
Greetings.
Higher is yes. 10. He looks... You think you saw this man in the Blue Water Inn? You don't know him by name, though. He's a thin man in his late 20s with a bit of a wispy beard. All right. The children, having been brought free of the cave, are going to all have nervous breakdowns at this point, and are crying and screaming.
The ones that are screaming, I will kind of
The younger ones are, so.
slap a hand over their mouths and just be like,
Because actually Zan did a good enough job that they are silent until something else happens to frighten them, which this probably triggered the smaller ones.
I will kind of gather them and kind of hands over their mouths, but firm hold, because I think that's generally... She knows how to handle little animals, so I think she's going to just apply those sort of rules of firmness that feels comforting, etc.
You found the children.
As you see.
Most
What's
of
it
them.
to you?
They're not from here.
Do you mean not from this land in general, or not from this cave in particular? Because one of those two things we have figured out.
The werewolves have been going beyond the bounds of the mists with his approval. Most of those children have no families here.
Great.
Oh, shit.
Perhaps You could drop them off in Krask or in Veliki. Kresk would be a safe place for them. But if you want, I could contact the rest of my ilk. We could see if the winery could potentially take them. Small feet are useful.
Now, from what I remember, the were-ravens are the good guys, correct?
They're as far as you can tell, they're good guys, yes. They're at least better guys. The Martinkoff family appear to be were-ravens. So the one who owns the Blue Water Inn as well as Wizard of Wines.
Okay, and I think we're not that far from there either. If we get them to the road, can you get somebody to help them down to the winery? We're heading back that way anyways.
Not tonight. You brought them by way of the tower, did you not?
Yes. Well, I mean, we came by way of tower.
If you send out the call... Yeah, that's me being sleepy. If you hold them up for the night, I can send out the call for the morning.
Alright, it'll be tight. Let's get them back.
See you at the tower. And he will shift into a raven.
What's your name? As he flies away.
That's so Raven. Just fly. All right. He will fly off doing his best Batman impression. And with that, what do? You take the kids back across?
Yeah, Dawncaller will explain. We're going to have to go through the woods, but we are going to a tower that will be safe, where you can sleep.
Okay. What I would like you to do is make me a survival roll. Yeah, do it with advantage because I think enough people are going to try to help you that it'll offset the disadvantage from the kids slowing you down.
28.
28?
No, sorry. 18. I added a 10 by accident.
Don't do that. All right.
I believed you.
I didn't disbelieve her either. I was like,
No, the highest I can get is 27.
Okay. So I just have to check and see what happens to you guys on the way there. 1 sec. 15. Nope, you guys killed them. All right. So the worst things that are going to happen to you as you travel along the way, you'll make decent time in the darkness, and making your way through the woods, you will stumble across a corpse in the middle, about halfway back to the tower.
Right.
It looks like it's been clawed to death and is quite bloated and decomposed, with maggots wriggling out of its eye sockets. But there's something that you notice. There's a bulge in its pocket.
That's gross.
Does anybody wish?
To see us?
Yeah, I know. Does anybody wish to see what's in its pocket? You can say no.
Caller's mildly interested, so I will use a spear to kind of poke it out of the pocket.
All right. Let me. Can you roll percentiles for me?
Sure. 78.
78. You will see that in his pocket is actually a book. It's small, about the size of a travel Bible, but it's a worn book of children's nursery rhymes.
That's weird.
Are you going to pick it up, Don Color? Because as soon as I see that it's a book, if you're not going to pick it up, I will pick up the book.
She's not very interested in a book.
Okay. You will easily be able to pick that up. It appears to be a series of rather macabre versions of fairy tales that are fairly similar to the ones that you grew up with yourself.
So like
If
the like proper
they're the German versions,
the originals.
but fairly similar to what you have heard in your own youth. As you are picking it up and fishing it out of the pocket, you will also find one last thing on him, and that is going to be high or low, Neil?
Oh, low.
Low. Inside of the pocket as well is a slim black wooden pipe.
It's a smoking pipe or a...
Smoking pipe. The black pipe looks like it has a slight shape, and in the darkness it's hard to tell, but as your fingers touch it, you'll recognize that it has the hollow of a pair of eyes, a hollow where the nose should be. It's a face, but carved down to the skull. Do you take it or leave it?
I'll slip it into a pocket with the theory that as soon as I can look at it in the light, I might decide it's too gross and leave it on a shelf somewhere.
Sounds good. And with that, you are going to be able to make your way back to the tower. Shasta and Ismark are waiting inside, and as you approach, the front door will open from inside. You'll be well met by your friends, and will get the much-deserved rest that you've earned at this point. As you're waiting around the tower, and the children have nodded off to bed.
I figure we would have carried them up to probably the top floor and left a couple people up there, a couple people down the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Shasta and Ismark stay up there, and you find that Shasta is surprisingly good with children.
Did not expect that.
No. And I'm sure that Amy will play that up next session. Down at the main floor, the four of you gather again. You three and Ezmerelda. So what is your plan next?
Well, we have several commitments. Most of them lead us towards the house of the adversary.
It's not a great place. I just visited. When the man has you for dinner, it's, well.
He has you for dinner?
He has you for dinner, yes. You get the point.
I understand jokes.
Just like that, I can tell.
That one goes right over Karis's head. But we are also committed to finding your Richten?
Van Richten. Yeah. The devil will probably have many spies out trying to kill me at this point. I think I'm going to stick with you for a little while.
This is always appreciated.
Good. In the meanwhile, tell me a little bit about this reading that Madame Ava gave you. Both of them. It's strange for a Vistani woman to give 2 readings. I would not normally believe that such a thing would occur. And do you just proceed to tell her?
Yep, I was looking back at my notes, and they're rapidly written things like I have the wizard in all caps and the tax collector written under it, tower in the lake, but...
Tower
I
on the
think
lake.
Dawncaller can probably talk about the first one. I think we were all there for that, and the second
You
one
all
was just Sauce.
Okay. So she is going to look over what you had, and then what you say about the second reading.
Did Shasta tell us about the second reading?
I
I
don't.
think we knew she was going for it.
Then with that, interesting. I know many of the places that spoke of. I'm curious to hear what your friend's reading was.
Don't know. You'd have to ask her.
I'll do better
She
than
may
that.
have mentioned, but
Like I said, I'll do better than that. And she pats the leather hip pouch. I can confirm it. I too am Vistana.
This is a generous offer. My only hesitation is we've already tempted fate once by attempting to change its designs. Do we wish to do so again?
No, that's not what happened. If I'm not mistaken, someone impersonated Madame Ava and tried to lead you off to the wrong side.
You are the expert, and I'm willing to sit.
Then we'll do it before breakfast. But for now, I'm going to sleep, and you are all going to keep watch, because I have had probably a worse day than you.
That
had a
is
pretty
not
good day.
unreasonable.
Yeah. Good night.
Dawncaller doesn't have a scratch on her.
All right. And with that, you all settle down for the night and prepare to rest well and true for the first time in a couple of days. With that, actually, I think we're going to call it here a little early tonight, make this a quicker game, so that we can play again in a couple of weeks when Amy's feeling better. And we got this little side mission out of the way. So, last session you guys leveled up to level 5, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So this wasn't enough to get you a level, but this was enough to get you close to the next level. And just so you can be aware, what I think is really interesting about 5th edition and the way that the action economy and combat economy works, guys. Guess what level you're supposed to be when you're doing this challenge?
How many?
14.
7th.
Huh.
They assume that you're going to be level 7 when you do this, which is kind of
And
weird.
how many people in the party?
4. It's usually assuming 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys did like super well, and I'm wondering, given you have some silvered and magic weapons, maybe that makes a big difference. But at this level, you should be able to have silvered weapons. So I don't know. I don't know. It's weird, right? The leveling system is very strange. I find that you guys have a pretty easy time with this, which I can make harder.
Yeah, I don't know, because, like, I mean, I do know that I rolled fantastic on this character, and it is ridiculously statted. And I very carefully picked where stuff was going. But yeah, I don't know. 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like we've been lucky in a lot of ways, because, like,
I've been rolling horribly for the enemies, so that helps.
I feel like if they actually did get a bite on us and stuff, like if I actually did take damage more frequently, like I don't have that many hit points.
No, that's fair. Neil, what were you gonna say?
So,
I think I've died once. Dawncoller's died once. Shasta's died once or twice?
Twice.
Okay. And every time we've gone to sleep, I've been out of spells and I'm out of hit dice.
Okay.
So that's a reasonable indication of challenge. I will say if it is feeling a little easy, I do think our stats are a bit higher than the assumed challenge rating.
That's true.
Because we rolled rather than using the generated standard thing.
Mm-hmm.
And D&D is balanced around the party not having magic weapons. 5th edition is balanced around characters not having magic weapons, so.
yeah. I guess the thing is I think that unless you draw combat out a really long time, like when you add a ton more like combatants in, it just gets boring. So you're either too good enough that you go through it really quick, or you get mulched immediately, or it's boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like
combat that drags without anything changing in the combat is definitely not good, which is something that I really thought was a good feature of the new Vampire 5th edition. They actually have a mechanic where something in the fight has to change every 3 rounds. Either a location, a third party shows up to fight you all. Like something in the fight has to evolve in a different direction, or else the fight should end.
I feel like tonight's was like, I quite enjoyed it. I thought we did a decent job of trying to do not just run in and hack and slash.
No, you guys did a stealth mission. It was nice.
And we actually like tried to be clever, I feel like. And I mean, I was trying to do it that if the fight had continued on, if Neil hadn't managed to just like mulch 5 of them at once sort of thing.
Roast, yeah.
That my intent was that Zan could, if he was able to see it and whatnot, sneak around the other side of those rocks with the kids and get them out while we're distracting them by being loud and ragey and whatnot.
But instead he was role-playing and getting the kids out first, which is a very Zan thing to do, strangely.
Which was great, because it felt like we meshed as a team there, and like everything worked. Like Dawncaller was the one to run in and be like, "Rah!"
Yeah, and Amy didn't botch a single roll tonight.
I know, right? That was so surprising.
All right, so I think on that note, we're going to call it here for the night. So as you settle in and set up your guard duties, waiting for the night, you await the next day and what is going to happen to you the next time on Curse of Strahd, which we'll see you in a little bit. Don't forget to sign up for Extra Life. And hey, visit our page. If you search Dork Tales or search Kelly Clark or any of our names, it will pull up and you can join our group. You can also check us out on Facebook. Be sure to like and subscribe, to follow us on Twitch, and follow all of our social media, which is pretty easy to find. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye for now.